The origins of the Cold War were marked by a series of escalating confrontations between the United States and the Soviet Union, none more dramatic than the Berlin Crisis of 1948 to 1949. This crisis emerged as one of the first major clashes between the two superpowers and solidified the division of Europe into East and West, with Berlin at the epicenter of the Cold War struggle. At the end of World War II, Germany was divided into 4 occupation zones controlled by the United States, the Soviet Union, Britain, and France. Berlin, the former capital, was situated deep within the Soviet zone but was similarly divided into 4 sectors. This arrangement was intended to be temporary, with the Allies planning to eventually reunite Germany. However, as relations between the Soviet Union and the Western powers deteriorated, Berlin became a focal point of Cold War tensions. By 1948, these tensions had reached a breaking point. The Western powers, particularly the United States, Britain, and France, had been working to stabilize and rebuild their zones of Germany. They introduced the Deutsche Mark in June 1948 to replace the old Schöner, devalued Reichsmark, aiming to revive the economy in the Western zones. This currency reform was carried out without consulting the Soviet Union, which saw it as a threat to their control over Eastern Germany and a step toward the creation of a separate West German state. In response, Stalin decided to take drastic action. In June 1948, the Soviet Union initiated the Berlin blockade, cutting off all land and water routes into West Berlin. The blockade was an attempt to force the Western powers to abandon their sectors of the city by depriving West Berlin's population of essential supplies, such as food and fuel. Stalin's strategy was to pressure the West into ceding control of the entire city, thereby eliminating this Western enclave from the heart of Soviet-controlled East Germany. The Western powers, however, were determined not to give up West Berlin. They viewed the blockade not just as a challenge to their authority in Berlin, but as a test of their resolve to stand up to Soviet aggression. Rather than retreat, the United States and its allies launched the Berlin Airlift, an unprecedented operation to supply West Berlin by air. Beginning in late June 1948, American and British planes began flying thousands of tons of supplies into the city each day. The operation required extraordinary logistical coordination and continued for nearly a year, with aircraft landing in West Berlin every few minutes, around the clock. The airlift demonstrated the Western commitment to defending Berlin and was a significant propaganda victory for the United States and its allies. Stalin, faced with the success of the Berlin airlift and the unwavering determination of the Western powers, was eventually forced to back down. On May 12, 1949, the Soviet Union lifted the blockade, allowing land and water routes into West Berlin to reopen. The crisis had ended, but the division of Berlin and Germany was now cemented, symbolizing the broader division of Europe. The Western powers soon formalized their control over West Germany, leading to the establishment of the Federal Republic of Germany, West Germany, in May 1949. In response, the Soviet Union established the German Democratic Republic, East Germany, in October of the same year. The Berlin crisis also had profound implications for the broader Cold War, leading to the formation of military alliances on both sides. In April 1949, shortly before the blockade was lifted, the United States, Canada, and 10 Western European nations formed the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. This military alliance was designed to provide collective security against the Soviet threat, committing its members to mutual defense in the event of an attack. NATO marked a significant shift in American foreign policy as the United States took on a permanent role in European security. In response to NATO, the Soviet Union solidified its control over Eastern Europe. In 1955, it established the Warsaw Pact, a military alliance of the Soviet Union and its Eastern European satellites, including East Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and Albania. The Warsaw Pact was the Soviet answer to NATO, creating a formalized military alliance that reinforced the division of Europe into opposing blocs. The Berlin Crisis thus played a pivotal role in shaping the early Cold War. It demonstrated the deepening rift between East and West, leading to the formation of rival military alliances and solidifying the division of Germany. Berlin remained a flashpoint throughout the Cold War, symbolizing the broader ideological and geopolitical struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union that would define global politics for the next 4 decades.